Hello, YouTube. We continue with the Ranked Royale on the EU side. It's day 2. We're starting with Nugget versus LuiisP. They could potentially be fighting for a certain amount of prize pool. They don't want to end up getting last. LuiisP needing a win in either one of these two matches. But LuiisP actually still possible to win the whole event as well. But we'll get more into that when we start the match. Here we go. We got LuiisP versus Nuggets. What's on the line for LuiisP is still a potential chance of winning the entire thing. What he needs to do is probably have perfect performances here against Nugget, and then a perfect performance against Zen, something that is basically impossible based on the matches we've seen Zen play. And then he'll be 2-1. And then it's up to Zen to take down Moxie, and LuiisP might have some tiebreaker that puts him in the top of the leaderboards. Nugget, on the other hand, having played 2 matches yesterday, already 0-2. Moxie already 2-0. Can't possibly overcome him, but there's prize for every position except last. So if Nugget's able to get a win here, he can probably finish above last place and walk away with at least $250, which is certainly more than your average show match has as a prize pool. LuiisP starts up early. Had a tough time yesterday against Moxie. Moxie can be a frustrating opponent, and Nugget can as well in a different way. LuiisP looking to attack from the ceiling at the start of this game. Got a little bit ahead of himself, though. Nugget, interesting flick. This is a nice fake. He jumps and pulls off the ball and flips away from it so as to not pop it up any higher. And that actually works out perfectly, getting LuiisP up. Your controller made me flip left and it helped me. Nugget admitting that it was a mistake, but a good one at that. Had he flicked to the right, like maybe he was trying to, it would have played right into LuiisP, who was up to make that save. So, if anything, Nugget should be writing down on his notepad, wait a second, every once in a while, just randomly flip away from the ball, and it just might work. Nugget up 2-1 after a wave dash kickoff win. Thank you for the prime, by the way. Little cloud. LuiisP able to steal possession away, but not with ease. Has to avoid Nugget chasing him down. Decides to just boom the ball. Very Nugget behavior of him. If you've been watching him through the qualifier and in his first couple matches, Nugget loves nothing more than to just launch the ball on every occasion he can. But he specifically seems to play best out of counterattacks because he's so quick. If he's able to make saves, he often punishes players for coming in too far into his half, even not necessarily off of saves. A lot of times you'll be able to catch them vying for the ball a bit too close to his back wall, and he escapes quicker this time. LuiisP playing around the back wall of Nugget has no issues scoring. Nugget lost the kickoff heavy, had no boost to work with. Who plays next? If you want, you can do exclamation point bracket, which will take you through all the games today. They're listed in order, but it'll be Zen and LuiisP, and then Zen and Moxie to finish the day. I also noticed that Jorby, who's been running a lot more show matches, usually has a command that has the schedule laid out. In this case, I think bracket does that for us already, but it's definitely something that I might steal from him on days that we have a few matches and we don't have like a bracket. It's nice to just be able to hit a command and see all the games that'll be happening that day. LuiisP able to get a third. Nuggets looking for his opportunity to get to the ball, but that never came as LuiisP keeps it away. Kickoff win into one of LuiisP's favorite positions. Has the reset far away from the net. Looks like he's maybe going to go down for a pogo. He gets all the way down to the ground where his nose is inches away. But then instead of going for it, actually flicks the ball last second. And then Nugget says, my fault. I think because that was savable. But honestly, that's a really tough to read play. It doesn't surprise me that Nugget wasn't able to react in time. LuiisP able to equalize. Nugget flicks the ball up. LuiisP wanted a psycho. So many more players are looking for these psychos in 1v1. They're never easy to hit, though. And a lot of times, it can be a bit of an all-in play. LuiisP had the choice to try and double that in a way that puts it into the corner, potentially, or takes it out of a shooting position. It would be something that would have no chance of scoring, but instead he wanted the massive clear or the massive shot all the way out to the midfield. And the miss means a Nugget lead. Nugget able to gain control of this possession. He's had great flicks in this tournament so far. LuiisP, a diving challenge as Nugget tries to head back around the ball. Able to take that sequence in for a goal. Nugget thought that LuiisP was going to be playing the ball at least partially towards the net and was banking on that with his challenge. LuiisP knows he doesn't need to worry about the net until the defender's not around, so just tapping it to himself off the back wall. Following up for an easy goal. Nugget chasing LuiisP down. His recoveries are on point. Seemed like he was flying around the play, but never really out of it. And has a tendency to surprise players with how quickly he can be back on the ball, because a lot of top players are very good. I mean, I don't know what this was. Just a mistake. Was he trying to bump LuiisP that he thought was maybe coming? Did he restart his game? I think it was just a mistake, yeah. Yeah, no worries. Yep. Nugget spamming reverse cam to see if LuiisP is coming out to meet him at midfield. Launch this one over the top. And it'll be a pass to LuiisP for a 7-5 lead. Nugget wave dash kickoff. Keeps himself in striking distance. 30 seconds is a long time. Certainly a time that LuiisP could play the clock a little bit, try and manage it, but more than enough for Nugget to find a way to get a possession even after losing this kickoff. Able to catch this ball, and LuiisP made a mistake. Played right into Nugget's hands. This is exactly what Nugget wants to do. He wants to try and counterattack you as you use your boost and leave yourself vulnerable. LuiisP a little bit too interested in using his flip in the air. He probably needed to take that ball all the way to the ground to safely protect it. As it came down, Nugget wants a kickoff goal. LuiisP's back and grabbed his own boost, but died in the process, and this should be a goal. Nugget could afford to take a bit of time. Oh my goodness. He almost didn't get it. I say he could have taken some time because as the clock winds down, he's going to have the lead late, but he just barely got this in. That was a bit closer than it needed to be. Now, delayed kickoff for LuiisP. Runs to the boost so that he can have enough to get back up to this one. But Nugget sends it to the side wall. What a great catch by LuiisP. The first couple touches isn't the best because he needs to now find a way to get the ball back off the wall and make it shootable. Nugget able to win the game that his game isn't performing very well since he wants to restart it, but he'll be back for game number 2. Game number 2. Nuggets gets on the board in the Ranked Royale after not being able to find a game win yesterday. So far, the Ranked Royale has gone such that the player that finished higher rated has won every match, which is very interesting to me because it kind of indicates that our qualifier was a very great way to find the best players. Everybody who finished higher performs better, which isn't always the case in Ranked. when it isn't used as a qualifier like this. But Nugget could disprove that. Nugget finishing lower than LuiisP. If he was able to win this series, he would break that trend. Nuggets trying to chase down the other side. I'm not sure what he was thinking in the corner here. This didn't have to be the end of the possession, I don't think. He certainly had a lot of boost to work with, too. He refreshed on the 100, but I think he had some before he got there. All he has to do is prioritize retreat. He might just be fine, but instead he flips around in the corner, and LuiisP ties the game. I saw recently that the RLCS is now officially using more Fenix than Octanes, and I think that is new as of this split. It might have been new as of last split as well, but that's pretty impressive. I tell you what, if you had told me around peak Octane usage before the Fennec existed, or even shortly after the Fennec existed, if you had said, do you think any car will ever overtake Octane? I would say no. No way, because players are too stuck in their ways. Pros are using the Octane. It'll never happen. And I am very glad to be wrong. LuiisP. Air Jewel for a second. I think having more meta cars is... Honestly, I don't see why anyone would not want it. So it'd be great to have a third one. But I also wonder if that'll be possible. 3 different cars that people use a lot. It seems like as soon as some of the best players are using one, people will just start shifting towards that one. Nuggets launches a flick from deep in for a second goal. What a flick indeed. Nugget, first touch of a potential bounce dribble. It's a bit high, makes it possible for LuiisP to come and challenge. Not have to worry about Nugget tapping it over the top of him. Another great flick. This time from even farther distance, though. LuiisP has that save. LuiisP trying his best to hold on to this possession. Diving to steal the corner boost. Nugget working with 0. What can he get going here? Looks like just about nothing. Shouldn't be a huge surprise, but he does prevent LuiisP from scoring. Actually has a monster clear that's going to allow him to grab back corner boost, and he just... Oh, I thought he missed it. I was like, this should be free, and I swear he almost missed it, but I guess it hit the post and was in. It just seemed like there was so much more available net that he could have used. But in his defense, probably trying to keep it away from LuiisP, who might have been trying to make a last attempt save. And the farther he can put it on the left side of the net, the less likely that LuiisP makes any contact with it. Nuggets rushing back to his corner. LuiisP chasing him down there, but ultimately backing off. Look at this flick from Nugget. Crossbar down and in. Nugget is an absolute monster. LuiisP was able to reset on boost. He wave dashes out to the midfield and puts himself out of position for a banger of a flick like that. Nuggets, another kickoff win. This flick is soft. He is such a pest, though. As he undercuts LuiisP again. LuiisP able to escape to the midfield boost. Nugget playing keep away. Does a little camera check to make sure he doesn't land in the line of LuiisP. Quick dash in the back corner and back to the ball before finally just launching it away to end his possession. Zen bringing out all reliable. But Nugget actually able to get around it. Massive defensive attempt from him. Did I say Zen? Sorry, LuiisP. LuiisP. Zen plays later today. Who? I did this so many times this tournament. How have I done this so much? Every player who's playing in the tournament is playing at all times. In my defense, I actually think it's because that is a great save, by the way. Saved the last pixel out of the net. I think it's because people in chat were asking about Zen. I probably read it. Next thing you know, I'm using that name as if it was in the match. Nugget, look at this pinch. Ground pitch shot right as LuiisP is transitioning from the back wall to the ground. Nuggets slams the next shot attempt directly into LuiisP. He's been controlling a ton of kickoffs. Not going to get this back corner boost. So far, every match in the EU Ranked Royale has been a sweep. Nugget on pace to keep that up. If he finishes out the next 30 seconds without letting in 3 goals in the way he likes to play, almost certainly that'll be the case as he continues to annoy LuiisP with the ball. LuiisP air dribble bump actually saved it with his final touch himself. And Nuggets counterattack makes it 6-2. Game number 2 will be Nuggets looking to make the first upset of the main event. Only needs 1 game after this one to do so. He's been performing well with his flicks today. Something that he was doing in the qualifier. I saw on Hootie Who's channel that he had at least 1 nasty flick. To be fair, against Zen and Moxie, who he played yesterday, the flick game wasn't there. And it's shown up here today against LuiisP. So adding more elements to what his arsenal has. 2-0 for Nugget. Game number 3. Nugget showing why he is here to play. Why he was able to make it through a tough qualifier. LuiisP has long since been one of the higher rated EU players. But Nuggets will go up 1-0 in game 3. LuiisP double reset. Left out to dry. Nugget able to play keep away off this kickoff. LuiisP thought he maybe had a win. Nugget pops it over the top of him and is first to the corner boost. The Be Ruthless One Unity clan is here in chat to cheer on Nugget. What is the name? Oh my goodness, LuiisP. All right, LuiisP on the board in style to start this game. Nugget has to throw the nice one. LuiisP's been trying to get these ceiling reset shots all tournament long. 110 km/h on this one. Fast wheels LuiisP greater than Fennec LuiisP. Yeah, we haven't seen LuiisP go back to the wagon wheels. I believe he was the first player I ever saw using the wagon wheels, saying they were the speediest wheels in the game. Makes sense. Got to be the most lightweight ones, right? Wow, what a save by LuiisP. Pre-flipping around the bump that Nugget was going for. And getting a touch on the ball. Send it away. He's going to reset here at the midfield. He knows that boost is not spawning for him, though. He just took it. Looks to try and place a flick top right. Nugget has that save, but does not have any boost. It's never stopped Nugget in the past. Stays diving on the ball and earns himself a chance at Luis's back corner. Luis, again, this time he's forced Nugget into the net. Nugget still dashing his way immediately back into the play. He'll get... Oh my goodness! I was going to say he'll get punished this time because LuiisP should have dropped that on target. I wasn't watching from LuiisP's perspective, so I don't know how hard that catch might have been. He does miss wide, and Nugget gets to maintain his lead. Nuggets letting this ball fall off the front of his car actually leads to some of the most powerful flicks. He misses this one wide. LuiisP had to reverse for a moment as he missed that corner boost. I think that convinced Nugget to just try and play the ball quickly, but that was actually a mistake because LuiisP still able to make it back in time. He'll steal Nugget's back corner LuiisP from the ceiling again. We saw what he did before. He goes all the way to the ground before getting back up in the air to tap it over the top of Nugget. Nugget took a wide trip around to go grab a couple boosts. Wasn't around to make the save. LuiisP given a ton of field to work with. Nice last second touch. Air rolling around the ball. Hard to tell what kind of angle LuiisP is going for here at the start of this shot, but he taps it once, falls away from the ball, and flips back in to push it past Nugget. Oh, what is the name? Yeah, I was asking what is the name of the org that Nugget is on? I'm sure it can't be all 4 words that they type, right? The Be Ruthless, One Unity. Is it just Be Ruthless? LuiisP off the ceiling to the ground and then bumping Nugget into the net. Ruthless Unity. Oh, it is both. Ruthless Unity. Got it. Oh, I should have seen Nugget's name says Ruth right there, so... Nugget. Couple spams of reverse camera to check if LuiisP is coming. It's never easy to tell when you're watching from his perspective because you don't know he's about to do it. But man, is he tapping it quick. He's able to get a read on where LuiisP is at, which is a couple milliseconds. LuiisP direct kickoff goal, gonna make it 5-3. Doesn't want to go down without a fight. Wants to end the trend of sweeps here in the EU Ranked Royale. Nuggets giving a freebie here. Watching from Luis's perspective. He's just not expecting. I don't know if he just didn't get the right read on where Nugget was at. Nugget was dashing out and turning around. Maybe if he thought the ball was not just bouncing midfield and headed farther back, he would have a chance to go grab boost. Nugget thought about diving on LuiisP. Ultimately decides to back off. LuiisP's going for a lot of bump plays, so you got to expect him to go for it again. He does again, but he sends the ball off of the crossbar. We saw him do that earlier. What a shot! Oh my goodness. That had so much heat. It has 79 km/h because it hits the crossbar before going in. But man, watching that from Nugget's perspective was even crazier. That just was power out of nowhere. Too bad it had to bounce off something on the way in. Otherwise, we could have gotten a read on how fast it was. I'll get another couple quick camera checks to see if LuiisP is coming to chase him down on the side wall. LuiisP decides to just send a power shot directly at net. Look to go steal boost and play the long game. Not a bad idea, especially with the boost advantage. Or sorry, with the game advantage. Up to with 40 seconds. What a shot, man. LuiisP is in the zone now. Got his guild goal explosion. Resetting. Falls away from the ball, but corrects it with a single touch. Taps it into the top left. I get watching. See what LuiisP is going to do with a team pinch. Well, I guess they're not really on a team, but the duo pinch slams the ball into the corner. And with 3 goals to make up and 22 seconds to do it, I think this is a LuiisP win. Putting himself on the board. Nugget looked great, but LuiisP was on form in game number 3. Why do they keep doing this? I swear that if you just play semi-regularly, the game truly is over like I'm trying to imply, but Luis just pops the ball out to Nugget, and now with 9 seconds, it is possible. Nugget just needs a couple kickoff goals. This one's not bad. LuiisP dunks the ball, and surely it's over now, right? Game number 3 to LuiisP. We saw some turtle action from him yesterday. Will he pull out any more today? Yo, Calbs, thank you for the prime. Game number 4. LuiisP, when he's winning games, does them like he did in game 3, scoring multiple clips along the way. Bit of a volatile strategy to get wins if you aren't feeling your mechanics, but as long as LuiisP is able to keep up for the next couple of games, we could have ourselves a close series. Nuggets trying to score first. LuiisP has a lot of boost to work with. Looking to save as much as possible. Has 40 left over after the 50, and that means he wins the race to the midfield, and now he's got Nugget starved out in a really solid possession. He's looking to try and get Nugget to overcommit to that right post and then put it behind him, but Nugget never did. It's great defensive play from Nugget to never overcommit and end up still being able to cover that near post, because a lot of the times when players prioritize not getting the ball beat behind them, they end up leaving some space open, but Nugget had it absolutely 100% covered. But does he have this air dribble covered? LuiisP's thrown in some bumps, he's thrown in some resets, he's done it all, but this one, he does not much of anything. Nuggets flick enables him to steal the corner boost. LuiisP should be able to follow this in, though. Absolutely reading Nugget, who was trying to chip the ball up, and just directs the ball all the way downfield. Nugget, 19 boost to work with. Fairly neutral kickoff. Seeing these go both ways, Nugget is going to find a way to ultimately gain a possession where he has some boost to work with. LuiisP trying to quickly counter after a win in the midfield. Nugget's one of the faster recoverers in the game, though. LuiisP air dribble resets. Pops the ball too high. Nugget's been doing a good job of forcing Luis to do that. He's actually lost possession as well. Nugget faking the flick, trying to cash in some of the great flicks he hit earlier, but LuiisP never overcommitted. Pre-jumped the flick and stayed low enough. Now Nugget gets a nice low 50. The patience from Nugget is a bit of a switch up from what we've seen before. Baiting LuiisP out and into a bad challenge. I would say, somebody in chat said, when you think about it, Nugget is good at flicks, but not at aerials. Is he using Nexto? If there's any player who looks like they're using Nexto, I feel like it's Moxie. Moxie, though, will throw the occasional crazy air dribble in. But if there's anybody who looks like a machine who just throws the same flick at you over and over to great success, when I say that, who does that make you think of in ones? I feel like it makes you think of Moxie. Also Lion Blaze. Moxie is too mechy movement to be Nexto. Well, it's also the case with Nugget too. Nugget moves like a madman. Definitely in an unpredictable way, whether you agree that it's mechy or not. He's certainly doesn't look robotic. But I think the most robotic gameplay of this tournament so far was the first 30 seconds of Zen versus Nugget, in which I was starting to believe that Zen was actually just a really well advanced AI bot that could not mess up. But later in that series, he proved to be at least a bit human. Nugget likely to go up here 3-2. Dandroid also a big robot in 1v1. can't forget about the Zapatos flicks. Zapatos does have the help of the plank hitbox, which we saw Daniel use a little bit yesterday. Kind of want to see it again. I just like the variety. I hope that Daniel plays a bit of Batmobile against First Killer. I think that's his only match he has left. The Danmobile? Yeah, the Danmobile stopped going for arrows completely and then just started going exclusively flicks. We're talking about flicks. These guys are continuing to beat each other with them. LuiisP catches and carries this one. And then slots it top left. LuiisP falling in front of the ball. Uses a couple resets in order to get back. Nuggets forces LuiisP to go high again. This time, though, it's crossbar. Just barely down and out. LuiisP getting chased by Nugget. Nugget did not succeed in his demo, and I thought for a second Nugget might be able to get that, and I think Nugget agrees because he throws the no way. Maybe that's because he didn't get that demo, but I think it's also because... Oh, no, never mind. He was nowhere close. It was definitely because he didn't get the demo. It looked like he was maybe closer than he was, but no way he thought he was getting that when you watch his perspective. 4-3, LuiisP wants a game 5. Pulls back into a reset. Nugget actually read it so well and saved it with enough power that he should be able to tie the game. If LuiisP really wanted to win the whole tournament, I do think he had to not drop the first couple games. Even if he does come back and win this series, not sure there's a world in which he can get a 3-way tie in his favor because he won't have a great plus-minus. Not with both Moxie and Zen 3-0ing Nugget. LuiisP, this is a great air dribble. He has had such good variety. This time, falls to the ground and catches the ball to the left of Nugget. Wave dash kickoff for both. LuiisP decides to try and go steal this boost, but he might be in trouble. Nice demo to end the game. He'll slam it down to the ground and win game number 4. It is going to game 5. LuiisP improving as we head to the final game. I think Moxie was like 1v5ing Nexto or something. I think Moxie did a stream once where he tried to 1v5 them and played until he, or maybe it might have been 1v4 since 1v4 is a little bit more natural. I don't know if you can put a 5th Nexto in and still have it play for the correct team. So it might have been 1v4, but that was not easy, but it's fun to watch. LuiisP is going to score first. Oh, it's 6. You did one. You put 6 in on one team. Did you ever win, Moxie? I couldn't watch the whole thing, but it seemed like what Moxie had to do was just get possession and then full field air dribble to some kind of like reset or something at the end, and the bots couldn't really stop that. But then, of course, you make a single mistake on defense and 6 Nextos are scoring on you. You didn't. You stopped, but you'll try again soon. Yeah, it wasn't easy. I mean, it was pretty clearly not easy. Genji played against 20 Nexto bots. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't checked it out yet. So I don't know if those guys could play 20 Nexto bots. That's insane. There's a new Nexto, Nexto Plus. Yeah, I haven't seen Nexto Plus either. LuiisP has converted to LuiisP Plus after the first 2 games. And he's going to continue to run it up. Slams the long shot as Nugget falls to the ground. LuiisP absolutely has been a crossbar merchant, but now he's just a goals merchant. 4-0. Getting him in every which way. LuiisP was hard committed to the fact that ranked was the best qualifier we've ever seen and wants everything to go to seed, which would mean LuiisP needs to beat Nugget, and he's up 5-0. Nugget finally a possession. I think it's taken about a minute 20 to even get one. Comes off of a kickoff, but he isn't able to hold on to it for very long. LuiisP trying to hit some flicks. Places it top left. Nugget gets his own corner boost. So these two trying to vie for control. LuiisP is going to win it by going for a demo. Now he pops the ball to himself, and he thinks he can get there on time. Nugget has the save. I thought there was a pretty good chance that Nugget would make it back if LuiisP just tried to play quickly, and didn't realize it was as close as that one was. Nugget just going to toss the ball right to LuiisP. I don't know what's going on with Nugget. This is not the kind of play we saw from him earlier. I don't think we see him just give the ball over in the first couple games, but he is shook right now. Can't seem to find the confidence again on offense. LuiisP bringing the turtle into it. You know he's feeling good. He brings the turtle in once he's sure that he's lost, and maybe also once he's sure that he's won, because they're now up 6-0. Wave dash into a power shot. Kind of a nice play to jump slowly and see if you can bait somebody in. Look at this play from Nugget, though. Wall dashing around the map to get his first goal of the game. Absolutely filthy shot from Nugget. Those wall dashes have become so useful in high-level play. Nugget's going to give up the 7th, though. It'll be 7-1. Wave dash kickoff match for both of them. Nugget gets another possession. Goes for that same tornado spin into backflip flick that he scored against, I believe it was Mass in the qualifier. Nugget given a little bit of space. No choice, really. The amount of boost he had left, but just flick, and he thought he could stick with his play and get up to it before LuiisP, but LuiisP's movement in net so pure. Lands and is quickly back to the ball. Nugget's going to need a lot of this, and you know what? Didn't even happen. Thought it might be a kickoff goal. LuiisP recovers. LuiisP, no need to rush anymore as he waits patiently with the boost advantage and the ball in his back corner. Nugget, though, does get him to get rid of the ball. I don't know how he got a demo there. I swear he connected with the ball with the 51st, but apparently that didn't slow him down at all. Nuggets gonna get a second. This would be probably the biggest comeback of one show matches of all time if he was able to get it in 1 minute. 7 back in 1 minute. I don't think that's going to be happening. LuiisP able to get himself a win and keep himself alive for second, and maybe even first if I tried to look through all the possible ways. All Luis needs to do is probably 3-0 sweep Zen, and he could be in the running. Nuggets just defending his nets valiantly as the time ticks down. We are not going to be seeing 7 straight. But during this tournament, you could tell he was hashtag be ruthless. And he hashtag had one unity. You guys can agree, I'm sure. Nugget, a great performance. Lots to be proud of in the Ranked Royale. just coming out of the qualifier itself puts you in with the best of the best. But LuiisP shows him that he still has the edge. 9-2. Game 5 and a reverse sweep for LuiisP.